Well, as you can see, I managed to get the train again to the World Cup Stadium, so let's see exactly how far it is from the station. Well, I don't know if you've seen planes, trains and automobiles, but I've just done the football version of it to get here tonight. It's been absolutely incredible. Roads are just a car park basically, can't get moved, transport down, 40-degree heat, and yeah, it's been some journey here, put it that way.
일단 대신님 가져가시면 돼요. 봉투도 앞에 있어요.
혹시 얼마인데요? 소세지랑?
여기 군대 포장이죠. 하나 있어요.
혹시 얼마인데요? 하나.
공간적으로서 400원. 400원 아이스크림 좋은 거.
Well, Newcastle United 1-0 down here at the break. Did create a fair share of chances. Alanga had a couple of good opportunities, a couple of good openings, but Newcastle still behind. Sula hasn't had too much of an impact in terms of openings and clear-cut chances. Newcastle really will probably make loads of changes now. So yeah, it's about momentum, but it's a really hot and sticky night here. Yeah, it's a really hot and sticky night here in South Korea, and Newcastle really looking to get back into this game. They need a result. I would say Sula needs to go, but yeah, a tough half, but you know, at least Newcastle did make some openings. So Newcastle lost 1-0 here tonight against the K-League 11. First half goal from Kim undone them. Yeah, it was probably a disappointing goal to concede, the way he sort of twisted past Jamal Lascelles and just picked his spot. And you know, Newcastle then would go on and create lots of chances. Sula had a lot of opportunities. It's turned into a bit of a pre-season drought for Sula, who's getting a big chance to audition ahead of Alexander Isak not being here. So yeah, tough night for him. He missed, you know, a good hatful of chances, and you know, he walked through the mix zone afterwards and he looked very disappointed. He ended up in a scrap towards the end of the game and got taken off as well, which wasn't the best ending for him over here. So that was disappointing from his point of view. Newcastle did have other sort of opportunities, but by the same token, he could have easily conceded another one as well. Defensively, they weren't quite there, but it's still red hot now. The game finished 2 hours ago. It's, you know, heading towards midnight, and it's slightly cooler, but only slightly. It's still about 35 degrees or something like that. So Newcastle have had an intense workout here in hot and sticky conditions, and you know, they'll be just desperate to get back into some air conditioning later. For them, they'll be glad this game's behind them. They've got one more game out here against Tottenham. Hopefully it's not as chaotic on the build-up for them than it was tonight. But look, a 1-0 defeat, we don't read anything into pre-season results. You don't read anything into them. Performances, you know, that wasn't too bad. I mean, it was the best players from the K-League all together there tonight, so it was one of them where Eddie Howe will be not reading too much into it, but he knows that they're going to have to, they need to put two halves together in pre-season. They haven't been able to do that, so tough one, bit of pill to swallow, but Newcastle head back to the hotel and they'll just be glad to get into some cooler conditions. Right then, some reflections after tonight's 1-0 defeat against the K-League 11 here in Seoul on a very tough night all round for Newcastle, for the fans getting here. Unbelievable issues with traffic, people unable to get taxis. It was just unbelievable getting here. I set off with 5 hours to spare, and as people know, journalists like to, you know, be there early. You like to be here at least 3 hours before the kickoff, but you know, that wasn't possible tonight, and it was just absolutely chaotic. The roads just completely jammed. I mean, the traffic here is bad at the best of times, but today it was just unbelievably bad. And you know, throw in a 40-degree heat wave, and yeah, it made for very, very difficult conditions. And the team were also caught up in this as well, stuck in traffic. Took them 2 hours or more to get from the team hotel. I mean, we are pretty much almost more than an hour away from that area, but even a police escort could not help the team get through traffic. They turned up here with an hour to kick off, not ideal preparation, no time to sort of do a recce for them, just straight on with the warm-up, and they were still warming up 10 minutes before the kick-off. So yeah, preparation was not ideal for Newcastle, and you know, they've been beaten here 1-0 tonight as well, so very tough for Eddie Howe and his team. Yeah, I think the final word has to go to Seung-soo Park, coming on and making his Newcastle debut, and he was absolutely brilliant in the cameo he had. Yes, it was only a few minutes, but it really lifted the stadium and it gave Newcastle United fans something to cheer. And yeah, he was brilliant when he come on. A couple of jinking runs and that little chop that Eddie Howe mentioned in his press conference, I thought he was absolutely excellent, and one that, you know, Newcastle fans can take that away from the game, that, you know, he had a decent debut. Okay, Newcastle lost overall and it's disappointing, but you know, there was some positives to clutch on. My only issue was maybe he should have brought him on that little bit earlier. It might have just gave Newcastle a lift where they needed it, but for me, yeah, it was disappointing result, but overall a really big adventure.